G'day boys and girls, welcome back to Delboy's Garage. Now tonight I'm going to play with the Bandit again. Little job, decided that I'm going to do something a bit unusual. My rat's coming on, getting its patina quite nicely, starting to rot a bit, paint's chipping off here and there, which kind of gives it the look, which is all good. Now I want to do something a bit random tonight, a bit interesting, and what that is this number plate light thingy that shines down onto the plate. Kind of have to have that. Now what I'm going to do, I've got this is an old Velocette reproduction Velocette light which I had on a chopper some time ago. Pretty cool thing. You can get novelty ones on the internet. There's a different 4-letter word in there. I'll leave you to work out what it is. Begins with an F. But that works because you've got the number plate light, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in this slot here, kind of like that, and wire it in to the back light, so it kind of works with the back light. And again, it's a rat bike, or it will be by the time it's seasoned in enough to qualify as one. And that kind of random thing, having that there on the back, gives me my number plate light, which is all legal. The only thing I don't have then is the reflector, and for MOT I should just stick one of them little round button ones on, so that's all legal, and that works good. And also it's a second back light, so when the winter comes and I'm riding around in the pitch black, because my route to and from work in these yon country lanes, there are no street lights out here in the country, so you're riding around in the black, so an extra back light is all good. And I've checked it, it works, it's all in good order. These are just a steel body, ever so simple, one cell organism, bit of cheap plasticky stuff there. I think that's like a little diffuser, so you get a white light onto your plate. This is a plastic lens. I think back in the day on Velocette it would have been a glass lens, and this is a bit of sort of laser cut steel. Even undoes in the simplest way you'd imagine, just with a sort of wire thingy. So it's all working, the bulbs work, it's all wired in nicely. This was on the back of a chopper, I just sort of saved it when I sold the bike and put a basic cat eye light on. So this is going to go on there, and I kind of like that, might look quite smart. So to get stuck in, first thing is whip this off, get the wiring cleared away, and identify the wires I need to tap into to Siamese that into the back light, and then go from there. I do hate wiring, it is a dark art. My mate Rob in New Hampshire, Berkeley, USA, have a look at him. He's a wiring wizard, a genius of the dark art of sparkery, and I am not worthy. He's incredible. One wire at a time he can wire a whole car. Me, I just end up, I don't know, electrocuting myself and probably setting fire to things. But we're going to have a go. Like my mate Rob said, one wire at a time, how hard can it be? And you're either going to see it work, or you're going to have a good laugh when I set fire to my bike. So one or the other. Let's get that off and get stuck in. Stick around, stay tuned. Right, I've got the bolts off, these little long nuts, and down in there it just, what's that? There it is. I'll keep that, never know. Always keep these things because you will use them again. Right, so that's the hole we've got to play with. Let's grab the light. I didn't cut any of the wiring off when I first took it off the bike. I let it all the way in to where it was loomed into the bike and just ripped it out, so I can cut that as short as it needs to be. Now on the back there, the two holes on that will fit kind of neatly in there. I'll see if I can use those rubber mounts and get this mounted real proper and pucker. Do a neat job of it. Got the hole there for the wiring, so I've just got to basically chop a little bit of all this old spaghetti off, get it shortened down, and basically the first job, get it fitted on the back of the bike, and then it's a case of sparking it in. Let's get cracking. Okay, now with a little bit of, that was the hole, I had to file out little bits here, there, that was a slot in that direction, and on here these are kind of roughly 90 degrees to the bolts, so they just weren't going in, it was sitting in twisted. So with a little bit of filing and room making, I've now managed to get it so that it is fitting jolly flush. There we go. That kind of works. I like that. So all I've got to do now is get on in there, and where it fits inside, it's kind of fits in there. I've got, obviously these holes are bigger than they need to be, so I've got to get some washers and then screw that on so it's nice and secure, don't fall off. I'm going to try and use the old rubber gasket that was in here to seal the holes, because obviously water will come pouring in and soak me waterproofs. Well, it won't, because I'll be wearing them if it's raining. Oh, anyway, there we go. Anyway, so that's the holes cut. I just got to trim the wires down and then get in here and tap into that backlight and just take this out and then do some connectivity and get it all tapped into one so it works on one loom. But for now, I kind of like that. It's kind of better than it was, and it's got a number plate light which is quite legal. Well, quite legal anyway. Okay, time to get some washers. Time to rake around the old bolt box. Right, talk about my bolt box a lot. So here it is. Now I've got to find something that hole or thereabouts, but bigger, because obviously that's a big hole in the plastic and that will just pop through. So that's the job in hand. Talk about this a lot though, the old bolt box. Just this has taken 20-30 years of building up fasteners. Anytime I take anything apart, I always put the fasteners in here, so a lot of these are second hand. Use bolts, all kinds of things. Never throw anything away, it really is useful. I mean, you know, collecting tools and things. I know someone in Manchester, New Jersey that does this, sorry, New Hampshire even, collects tools, bolts. He makes my little pathetic collection look nothing, but it is useful. You need lots and lots of washers, bits and pieces. Found that one just now. So that goes on there pretty neatly, and it gives a bigger washer surface. So I need another one of them. So it's really just a case of raking, rummaging, and they're probably here somewhere, or thereabouts, something like it. What we got? Some of them don't work, sometimes you can't get it. I've had jobs where I need 3 bolts, and you can rake through here for 2 hours and you've only got 2. But I don't like buying fasteners because they're expensive. You go and get a box of bolts from Mr. Fastener, you pay 30 quid. 30 odd pounds for a box of bolts, which ain't even a quarter of that. And very expensive fasteners. So keep everything you ever can. No, never ever throw anything away. You'll find that you can normally get you out of trouble. So I'm going to keep raking until I find what I need. See you in a minute. Right, as you saw from the pointer that I put on, I did eventually find it second time round, and there they are, all fitted and doing their job, and that works, 3 hands, pretty well holding that. It really does. Proper beef. They ain't going anywhere, and it does put the biz. Strong, tough metal casing, done. And it's nice and central ish. It looks a bit cockeyed actually. Try with a jack. Could adjust that later. Right, now all I've got to do is wire it in. I've got these two, they're the wires from it, and they are all nicely heat shrinked. They're soldered inside there because the actual fitting, when you buy it, they come with about 4 inches of wiring, which is pretty typical and useless. So I've extended them so that they fit. Proper thick wiring. This is a good sort of 4mm core, and I've got to break into this. White one is the brake light, brown one is the regular light, so I shall even those up so it works with the backlight, and that's on earth, which I don't need to worry about. So really now, just getting the old electrical connector kit. Some little connectors here, and make it jolly blood lighting. Right, so let's get stuck in, chop some wires nice and neatly, start joining stuff in. So there's the old connectors, quite simple. And what I've done, rather than chopping the loom, which is kind of that plug up there, I've just chopped this little section that comes out the back light, because that's quite easy. If I cock this up, it's quite easy to replace. but I think I've done alright. That is using these proper connectors. I mean, you could do this using Scotch locks, the old caravan wiring things, but I think they're rubbish. They pop undone and they do leave wiring cut, I'm afraid, so they're a bit rubbish. Really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this works. If it works out alright, later on, get some chance and I'll solder these joints. I'll solder the two wires into one. So what I've done underneath there, a bit difficult to see really, those wires come up and they join the wires to the backlight. So really the two lights are now one. Just isolated which one was brake and which one was tail, and I think I've got that right back to front, front to back. If not, just swap the plugs over, works a treat. So that'll work right, because that's why I've put two females there, two males there, so if it's wrong I can swap them over. I haven't got to mess about. So let's plug them in, see if they work. And there we are. Now, even if I say so myself, that is one neat little installation. I quite like that. It's tidy, it's not going to get in the way. I chuck an old pair of waterproofs in that tray, so ramming them in there when they're wet and so on, it's not going to cause a problem. All the wiring back there is heat shrinked, so it's all covered. The little red tab there, you can see that's just the earth there. Just get this torch, and with my third hand, or even not, and the little red tab, that earth just runs up with the wires up there, run it along. It goes down the back of this, out of sight, and it just tabs in there underneath that against the frame, and I just bared off some paint, so nice touch with the frame, nice earth, and there it is, one little installation. I think that is quite tidy. I just put some insulting tape over those just to prevent them getting any water in, and if I want to later on, I guess I can strip all the tape off, undo the connectors and just put heat shrink over them, which will make a better job of it. And there it is, thanks to my mate Rob, Burkalooza channel. Have a little look. He is a wiring guru and wizard, and just with his philosophy of one wire at a time, how hard can it be? There it is. It ain't hard, it's a neat enough installation. He'll give me at least 3 out of 10 for that. The most important thing, does it work? There it is. Kind of quite tidy, and it's beef as well, because this plastic is a good 6mm thick, really is beefy old plastic, and that really is screwed through there tough. Wound those nuts right home and double nutted them, so put a nut on the big plate washer, then another nut to lock it so they ain't going anywhere, and it's a steel body, so that is tough as old boots. Let's just see if it works. Hey, there it is. I might reach forward with a foot. Brake light as well. I kind of like that. There it is. Another little bit of rat bike nonsense. As I said a million times, it's just a bit of fun. A little bit of that. I don't know, winter time, pitch black out there, no street lights as you can see. That kind of thing can be useful. Extra backlight, extra brake light, can't be any harm in that. So there you go, you've been watching Delboy's Garage. Thanks ever so much for all your support as ever. Ride safe, see you next time.